woke up this morning, the sky was gray.
Welcome to the workshop. First, a few housekeeping. No, first, we have here the little question about the languages. Like, what languages are you writing in? How long have you been using Sudowrite, and what your biggest pain points are when using Sudowrite in your language? Please either speak up or drop this in the chat, since one purpose of this class is to address all of this and to help you use Sudowrite in your language. But if you don't have any specific questions, it's fine if you just tell us what languages you're working with.
So Sonia, which language do you actually write in? In Greek.
Greek. That's
cool.
I'm not sure if we already had Greek. I think at some point, but
I think we did, yeah, at some point.
it's already a while. I'll try to write in Russian.
And Russian. Perfect.
Russian.
That we did.
Yeah.
A while back.
Like, I usually write in German and English, and for Manon,
French?
it's usually French.
No, it's
So we have a
English,
good
English
mix.
and French, yeah.
Okay. Some more notes about housekeeping is that we are recording this so that this can go up on Discord and YouTube. And if you're camera shy, you can just turn off your video and use the screen name. And please keep yourself muted unless you're called upon, so that we can avoid background noises. And if you want to jump in fast, hit raise hand so that we can see that you want to say something. And for questions, the chat is open anytime. To help us find questions, please start your question with capital letters question, so they're easier to spot. And if it's something that's a bit more off topic to what we're currently working with, we'll put it in our parking lot and circle back to it in the Q&A in the end. Okay. But now, without further ado, we will start the session.
I will show something first, Dahlia, because that's something we always jump over. Where is that window? Specify, Sudowrite. So just to show you that we often just jump over those welcome back. Here's some added feature. They have a lot of nice new feature this time around. They have the new AI model, the Grok 4, which I heard a lot of good stuff from John. John is my partner in crime in two of our class. We basically is the crazy scientist, and I'm the crazy demo maker, which basically I take everything he says and make it easy for people to understand. Next, we have the Save the Prose mode in draft. Did you try this one so far?
I haven't tried it yet, since I'm not using draft so much.
Okay. Yeah, you
but
usually write.
Really, really helpful, I think, since in the past it just always switched back to Muse, and then I had to go to switch it to Excellent or another model, since Muse is not the best for multilingual stuff.
And there they heard me when I says, please bring back my voice in the draft, because in the past we used to have my voice in the draft, so you could write your whole chapter in your language, in your voice. So instead of being just in the write, rewrite, or expand, now it's in my voice. So that's new, which is great to have back. And then they have do tidy the import naming. You understand this one?
Yeah, like in the past, when you imported stuff, it just named it after your file, and that may be a stupid name, and now it just tries to name it after the title of the book.
Okay.
Which is...
And then entropic.
Though, honestly, I had never noticed this, because I'm not importing that much, but...
Oh, they removed 3.5. Okay, that's why I got this thing for all the plugin. So if you had any plugin written in 3.5, or you used to use 3.5 Claude, it's going away. It's replaced by 3.7. Okay. Claude is going pretty fast. All right, so do you have something you want to show, or do we just jump in and see what we can do with those two languages?
I'm looking. This depends a little bit on how
How
much
long they've
you
been
are,
working with,
how long you've been working with it.
so we can show step by step.
So, yeah, since I have, it's not completely prepared, but I would show my story Bible setup.
Yeah.
So that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, so just show maybe the first screen if they need it. So if did you write in, you wrote in English and you publish in English, Sonia. Did you use Sudowrite, or are you new to Sudowrite? And same thing for V3x3 or V3 times 3? You can unmute and talk. We are just a small family.
Oh, good. Long time.
Okay.
For Sonia.
Oh, it's easier to speak then. Yes, I've been using Sudowrite for a long time for me. I think I have published 5 or 6 books by now using Sudowrite in English, all of them. So I was thinking of maybe trying my luck in Greek.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's about V3 times 3? I'm not new to Sudowrite, actually. I've been using it for 1 year. Okay, so we don't have to
Oh,
show
that's good.
everything here. And I think they know how to set up their, hi Vito, their story Bible. So let's jump into the heat of the subject then. Do you have anything ready for that?
Yeah, then I work a little bit with laser tools. Wanted to show a bit since the question came up on the Discord before, so I thought
Okay.
that since it's something that people even still have some trouble with, we're using Sudowrite for a while. So I prepared a little bit of text. And since I write in German, I prepared it in German that we can work with for the demo. And one thing that's really, first of all, the so-called laser tools are the rewrite button, describe, and expand. And I'd also would count the new My Voice rewrite as a laser tool, since it's a tool that's very focused on what you're highlighting. And an issue that often occurs with rewrite and describe is that it defaults back to English. Since there's a lot of background prompting in English, and rewrite and describe at this moment do not look at your style box where you would put your prompt, like write out content in German, or in your case, Russian or Greek. So it has no knowledge about the language you're working with aside from the text that you highlight. And if that's a short text, it sometimes doesn't understand by itself that you want the text to be in your language. And as a way to work with this, you would also use this magic formula that you're probably aware of. And you would put it into the text that you're highlighting before you would run any of the laser tools. That's at least the best practice for rewrite and describe. And expand actually looks at the story Bible now, which means that that usually works even without any like tweaking in the highlighted text. And since My Voice is a model that's trained on your own texts. It usually also doesn't need to know which language you want. So this is right now mainly about rewrite and describe. And I just take a little, let's say we use the first thing. And aside from putting this up here, it works exactly the same with an English text. You would go here and for describe, choose the senses and metaphor that you want to have described, and just click. And sadly, it's still not 100%. And for some reason, it's usually that metaphor does not work properly. I'm not sure if there's a lot of background prompting going on for metaphor. But at least for the other things, you would get some descriptions in your language for the various senses that you can just then insert into your text and implement during your editing process.
The user has uploaded a file and wants
Oh, the user.
Sorry.
Was this a question or just? Oh, okay. Yes, and that's I kind of lost my track. And that's a little helpful thing for describe and with rewrite. I just go with one because I don't want to spend too many credits. If you have this in the highlighted section, you can use the standard things, like make it shorter. Ah, yeah. And something that's rather new, and that's not true for all rewrites, is that I think up to 650 words or something like that, that it will look at the synopsis. So in that case, if you have the magic prompt in the synopsis, that would also help. But if you have bigger selections, it's best to have the prompt within the highlighted text. Or if you want something special, you can also add it in the customized instructions that you wanted in your language and what specific rewrite you would like to see. Okay. And as said, for expand or my voice, it's not really necessary at all to give it extra information. You can just highlight and click, and it will also look at, expand also looks at your characters and stuff, which is super helpful. And sadly something that rewrite won't be doing. Well, this is expanding a lot. Okay, maybe this is a little bit of going overboard. So how long is this good? But yeah, it now turned this in 71 words in almost over 500, which is nice. Because that was one thing I wanted to show you. Are there any questions about how you can use the laser tools? Doesn't look like it? Okay.
Hardly use them ever, to be honest.
Yes, it's also true that I haven't used as much, since it's very often has caused these problems that it would give English output instead of German or other languages. But in the editing process, it can be helpful to use them to make the scenes a bit more vivid or to change the tone of a scene. But I have to admit that I also just like to use Quick Edit for editing, since in my experience, that's also a tool that often has an easier time writing in your own language than the other tools have. And it has the advantage of being free in standard mode. Let's go with this. So you can just tell it, and oh, yeah, that's something annoying. Let's say,
What's going on? It's not going to quick chat.
I know it sometimes happens when I get on the key that it jumps up into the to the up key and it ends up in there, which is a bit annoying. But where was I? Like you would give it its prompt, like in this case, expand the scene with sensory detail. And then you can just hit it here for free and it will rewrite the scene. And if you want it in some higher quality version for more complex rewrites, you can use also the higher quality version that costs credits. But in my experience, for rewriting, Quick Edit on its in the free mode is good enough. And since it's free, even if you're not happy with the results, you can just redo it again. And as you can see, it works a little bit different than the other tools and just rewrites it in your text so that you can simply go to accept and it will replace your highlight. Yes. Yeah, that was the main stuff I wanted to show you, and I'm surprised how fast this worked. Since if there are no questions about this, I think Manon always has a lot of interesting things to show.
All right. Are you ready to hold on to your hat? Let's see if I can get to this. All right. I may have to go from one to the next. The application window. I want to show the right window, so hold on. Okay. To start with, let's see if, because I'm going to go from one to the next. That's not the right window I'm supposed to show you. I will show you the desktop. Okay. All right. So this is when I do work, because I have a series of books for middle grade, which is they're all written, but now I'm rewriting them better in English, and I'm also rewriting them in French to be able to put both on the market. So my workflow for that, and I'm going to try to test it in Greek, okay? Because right now it's basically in French, and it's kind of, you can see that sometimes having a bit of problem with some of the information on top, but that's okay. So this part here, it's all in French. Basically, it's an analysis of the market, which I'm writing in, which is for the middle grade. And you can see the age 3, 6, 7, 12. And basically what I ask is I go to ChatGPT or Claude, and I basically ask, and I'm going to go up, sorry, I have to scroll. If I can get my scrolling to work, my ChatGPT is having a bit of problem these days. Not sure if I'm the only one with this. There you go. And write in class. Nice. Seriously, chat? And I think it's still writing too. Okay. Let's see if I can. Is it going to let me? Let's do a refresh. Come on. Exit, reload. Okay. I will go slow because it seems a bit sensitive. And I'm going to close this on top because it's in my way. So I will show you what basically I did. When I do a market, and because we changed the language, I said basically I need this research for the Greek market. Because when you write something for a different market, in a location, if you're like in Germany, you don't have the same joke than the US people are having, that the US people doesn't have the same joke that the Canadian having. So we have to tell the AI in some way that, hey, I'm writing that story, but doesn't mean the kids will understand because the kids is in France and the story is written in French Canadian from Quebec, blah, blah, blah. So basically give the AI more information on how to write the joke or things that they understand in that language. So that's what I'm asking here in ChatGPT. It says, please take my research for that market, but I want it to be for the Greek market. So I'm taking this and I give the whole market in French, and I ask it to go and do his research and do it for the Greek market. And I'm going down until I get the Greek part. Bear with me or with chat. So here's basically he's telling me he did the snapshot. He's telling me that he recognized who's writing, and he's giving me the Greek market. We won't have time to read everything about it, but we'll say, okay, this is making sense. It's Greek and it's talking about category and how it is. And that's definitely not French or English here. That's obviously Greek. But someone who's writing in Greek can actually let me know that this makes sense for the Greek market. If you can see the chat, Dahlia, if someone answering or on mute and answer that. You are mute.
Yeah, it actually makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I do is I'm going to take this market and I'm going to bring it up. So here this is my French market. I'm going to add a new one on the bottom here. And I'm going to bring the Greek market. Then I have it's going to make that Greek thing. Then the same thing here says the romantic for the 7 to 9. So I'm not sure why I put 7 to 9, but it's 7 to 13. And it got me another kind of little information on what the children actually read, what they like in the French market. Says, okay, now I need this in the Greek market. So I have 3 markets that I'm using because I don't know what the Greek people like, but ChatGPT must have a pretty good idea. So that's the only one I can ask question because I don't know anybody in Greece that can answer me that. So it's giving me the second one, which is telling me about absolutely the deep dive for focusing on the Greece 7 to 9 bracket, short fantasy chapter book 5 to 15,000 words, snapshot, the demand is real, the retail is reality, It's not very, very long. It was 5,000 in French. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to bring it into. So I'm going to bring this second one, which is basically kind of a rule on how to write in Greek. It's giving me a lot of information there, but that's okay. And the last one is basically a rules on how to write a short story. So again, I says, okay, what's the rule for the Greek people to write a short story for middle grade for bedtime stories? So basically Bible in verse of cozy mystery for Genesis 8 to 11. So the vision of the series and all that, and it's supposed to still having Greek information in there unless it lost it. Yeah, I think it lost my Greek. So I want it for the Greek market. Please rewrite. Even if you make mistake with it will do it anyway. Full translation, localized in Greek, talking. So full translate, localized in Greek, French text. Let's go with one. I want the one. All right. It might be very, very short. Focus, culture. Let's go with that. I know it's not complete, but just for the show of this little workflow. So you can have your own workflow, but it's just to show you how to do and bring information inside your story to get what you're looking for. Now, what I'm showing you is what we call the daisy chain. So I'm taking the main market in Greek, and I'm going to link it to the second one. So I'm taking the main market, I'm linking it to the breaking into Greek fantasy, and I'm going to link the last one to the second one, which give the AI a follow-up on what I want. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to do a new one, and I'm going to bring a story in. So I'm going to go get the story in French. Let's see, we get book 2. We got the story of Nerys, which is in English, as you can see. I'm going to just copy the top part, which is already my scene. I could copy the whole story, but just for the fastness of this session, I'm going to show you what happened when you bring your scene in. Because normally I bring the full story in the scene, and I said, please fix my scene for this to be seen in French or in Greek. And then, as you can see here, transfer everything inside that in the right language. So I'm going to show you that process here, but with the scene already, okay? So in Greek, we're going to go here, and I'm going to bring my scene, which are in English, and I'm going to go back and get my little information here. So I have a very methodic way of doing my books. So I'm going to copy all that, even though it's in French. I'm not sure what that's going to do because we're playing with a lot of language here. We'll see what that's going to do. We're going to learn together. So I'm going to pass my my prompt. So basically your prompt or your extra instruction, you're going to tell the AI what you want the AI to write with what's on top. So I'm going to tell to write all content in Greek. We could probably be more precise. Like you saw, I had like French Canadian for teenager. So write all content in Greek for teenager might be a good idea right there. Okay, let's see if it's going to do that for us. Now he's having what do I have in my world building? So I have my information in the world building. We'll see what it's going to do with that. We're asking a lot to the AI right now, okay? We'll see if it's going to give it to us in Greek or not. Connect all the scene to ideal, maintenance, travel, the work. Okay, let's see if it's going to do it. I will not use Muse because Muse do not do any English, any other language. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to leave that in here. Maybe I should take it out. I'll leave it there. We'll see what that do. Because in this box, if you have your own writing in Greek or in your language you want to do, bring it inside that box. And that box get carry along author of those model that John told us about. So I like to go back in sometime and just go and fix, because he put everything in English American and I'm English Canadian. So we're going to use this. So third person present, and see what it's going to do with this. So let's see, like I said, we're asking a lot to the AI right now. We're going from English to French to Greek. So Dring is going to think and see if he cannot mix up what we're asking it to do. We have any question?
Chat is clear so far. There was just a general question about writing in non-English languages, but I think that's also covered in what you did, like put the prompt into extra instructions for draft, for example, or also putting it into the style box and the other story Bible boxes.
It's in English. I think right there.
Ah, yeah, totally.
I put it inside your genre, your style, your synopsis. Everywhere you can actually put it in, you got to put it in. See if it's going to work now. Like I said, we are asking a lot to the AI to do. So we're going to say, we go back, going back to one, select all, delete.
Did you leave the example text for excellent in?
Yeah, I might have
was
to take it out.
distracted by the chat for a moment, so I wasn't sure if you had put it out or not.
I think that might be a good idea to go and take it out. Select all and put down, write everything in Greek for teenager.
Since in my experience, the style example is often more influential on what you get than, for example, what you actually ask for in the style box. So that might throw it off a little bit. But it's also something that I constantly have to check, since I'm writing different genres. And I have to make sure that I have the right style sample in my excellent for the stuff I'm generating. Yes, now it's French.
It's not yet in Greek. It's doing it in English. No, it's doing it in French. So somewhere in my information, there's too much. Let's see. Delete this one. Yes. Delete this one. Yes. Delete this one. Yes. I think I should probably ask to translate all this in Greek. Thinking. I'm having other stuff open on my computer. Sorry, it may take a little bit of time. Is ChatGPT good with Greek?
So, to be honest, depends on the day, as always.
All right, so what does it say? Does it say, is it the proper kind of translation of, that looks Greek to me. Set top. Kind of funny, it has these in English and then the description is cliff, rising, climax. So we're forcing the Sudowrite to write what we're looking for. in the language. And yes, we are asking them to have a drop-down menu, say which language we're working in, so to have everything in our language. Maybe one day, let's pray, going to happen.
I'm still crossing my fingers for this.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's apparently not as easy as we would think it is, but
That actually makes sense
yeah,
with Greek, what it wrote there.
awesome.
We'll see. So I'm going to leave the top one here, but I'm going to remove teenager. Try to give a bit. Is that what it says here? Write all in. No, that's not it. There's a 5 in there. Okay. Let's see what
It
it
says which are the titles and that it has 5 titles.
Okay. All right. Let's see what it's going to do here. So we don't want to continue. We want to restart. Because it's supposed to let me know at some point that we are working with a different language. Because this is my workflow for in AHA. What he says here.
There are scenes regarding some mermaids that do not match the story. And if you want to remove them.
Okay. No, we're going to see if we can generate in Greek. So we have something we're going forward. It's actually knows we are in Greece. Greek. Let's see if it's going to actually write. And that's good that he knows about it.
Oh,
Go.
yeah. That looks better.
Oh, there you go. It's Greek.
So I don't know how that is. Is it easy to read for children or teenager? What is written?
Yeah, it's easy to read and it does make sense, of course, in Greek. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I think it's wonderful. It needs, of course, it needs editing like all AI, but past that, it
Okay.
actually makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. So basically, by give it the AI the information, and with more time, next time I have to get everything ready, like for all the language, we never know which language is going to show up. I will have to translate all that in Greek and that in Greek and that in Greek and did my linking. In French, it's already done, but not in Greek. So like you can see that once we put everything in the Greek, now we understand. I'll say, okay, and there is a mermaid because Nerys is someone who really like to go and marinize a mermaid underwater. So in the mermaid kingdom, so I'm not sure why he said that there's no mermaid when there is. But he's supposed to write about the mermaid because he's supposed to keep the story as close as possible from what we have. But like I said, the other thing that if you bring your story in, then you want it to be written in Greek. So you take your English story and you bring it in here. So basically you can do the importation of your story through the novel import, which basically bring your whole novel in here, but you're going to have the whole story Bible and all that stuff also included, which you will have to go and translate everything in Greek after you import your novel in. The thing though, once you import your novel in, which is normally going to end up in the trash, you take the trash and you bring it inside, which will become the first on top. From there, you daisy link the not this and this and this. These you daisy link by themselves when you do your first chapter. But then your first chapter is going to be linked to your English version so that he knows that the story that is inside these scenes belong to the English version, but you want to have everything as close as possible, but in Greek. Does that make sense?
Sure. Or would it be easier if I just wrote the whole thing in Greek from scratch?
Yeah, but if you take something in English that you would like to have rewritten in Greek, that's the way to do it. If you want something written in Greek, well, you don't need to do all that. You can just says, okay, this is the market I'm writing in, and I want to be the best on that market, blah, blah, blah. And then you do your story. So this is just to give the AI the best possible way to get the book written to be on top of the chart in Amazon or wherever it is you are, where the books are.
Perfect. I really, really appreciate the help.
Okay. So I hope that answer how to take your book, which is already written, and people says, I really like to have it in my language, to write it in the other language with, it's not exactly the same, but it's so close to the original that they cannot basically says, okay, this is a translation, but it's not because the jokes are not the same. The locations might be different, or, some subtle information in the right language will be different than the English version. And this is what makes it fun for me, because when I go from the English, which is really like, it's the English Canadian written, but then everyone has the same kind of joke, kind of understanding for the children in middle grade. But if I'm looking at it in French, I says, okay, they won't understand that joke. So in French, for the French adolescent, it's written in a way for the French people from Paris and all that to understand the story. And he's still writing. Should be writing about around 7 to 10,000 words. Because he's writing the whole story. They are all short stories, bedtime stories. Do we have any question?
No question, just a thank you for the interesting information.
All right. Anything else you guys like us to test for you, so we use our credit and not you have to use yours? Or anything you are blocked in and you would like to see? It's time to ask. I'm reading the chat. No question? How's your
No.
story, Vito? How are you doing on your side? Okay, hope that helped on how to go behind just translating, or obviously if you want to write from the start, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, because you just do all the information the way you want. But if you have something in the back of your mind says, I think I need that for the AI to know what I want to write about, or how I want the AI to write about, to get these market or this information and get it for the AI to understand. So it could be also inside the world building easily. So there's a lot of information you can put in your world building. You can put how you want your outline to be. For me here, I have what I call La Roue, which is basically I want the AI, because it's 365 stories, and I don't want everything to be always on the same thing. I don't want everything to be just in winter, because each books have 7 story, and there's 4 books per month. So like there's the January to February. What's the theme for that? There's themes. I want the AI to go around and do the rotation of the story. So it's one of the rules that I have here for the AI to know, please don't write the same thing over and over, because there's 365 stories. And by right now I'm at story, I'm on book 14 times 7. So at some point you get tired of all the same riddles and all the same joke or all the same bridge or labyrinth. So you got to have some kind of wheel that the AI can go through, as you can see here. That's Story Bible. It's a ton of information for 365 stories. So make sure that there's a rotation. Anything you want to add, Dahlia?
I was wondering if there's no question, I would show a little bit how the right button works, but just Vito wrote something, I have to read it. Okay, he says there are a lot of new information for him and long time no use sudo, if to be honest. Think I need to reactivate my account and try new features. Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of new features if you haven't used Sudowrite in a long time.
Yeah.
It's especially in the last couple months, I think, with my voice being
One of them.
like released to the public, there's a lot that works.
Yeah. So my voice is one of the
Definitely.
ones. Do you use that one, Dahlia? Something
Yes,
you've
I
written?
love using it for my writing because it gives it automatically like yeah, it's closer to my writing compared to what Excellent gives me at output. Jesus.
Do
I
you
So I
haven't
really
tried it, to
love
be
using it.
honest.
repeat that again?
I haven't tried it, to be honest. Maybe I should,
Yeah.
now that I see how it works.
Yes.
Yeah, you should that you can put your book in the language you want to write in my voice, and that's also will help you to get the whole thing written in your voice in the language like Greek, by example. So you just need to go and tell the AI about your voice. Basically, it's very easy. You just click my voice and you just go create a new voice. You can drag one of your book in here. If you have one written in Greek, it's probably a very good idea to bring it in. And if not, if it's one that is the same voice you have in English, then you can bring one of your book in English in here. Or you can simply write a sample of what you want in the language. So let's see if we can try the sample of that Greek, what that will do. See if it's going to take the Greek. What do you think?
You could give it a shot.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Something else that's funny thing to do with my voice is that you could also use it for translation. For example, if one of the laser tools or some other thing in Sudowrite outputs stuff in English, and you have a my voice for your language trained, you can just run the English text through my voice rewrite, and it will give you a rather close, or you better say that you want it to be closely translated, but it's, in my opinion, a better translation than you would get with other models, since it's already looking at it being a translation that's similar to your language style.
Like those
So
little
that's
people
also
when it does that.
really useful.
He's looking at the language, the reading level, the perplexity
Yeah.
of the writing, the POV and the tense. Turn of phrase.
While we're waiting for the training, Vito has a question that maybe you can answer, since you're more of the like mad scientist than I am. It's about can Sudowrite help writing full feature film screen scripts?
Yeah, it does the screen script. You only have to tell it in the extra instruction.
So that's good news.
We have a lot of people which actually make very good money in writing TV script or movie script with Sudowrite. So now I have one which will copy my voice. Oop. And what it would be, that would be this one. So we have to use this one to write in Greek. What do you think?
Mhm.
how we do that. I never used it with a different language. Since they put it there, it's the first time that I would be using it. So how would you do that? Duplicate. And then we go to the bottom. We're going to delete that. We have everything else. So using my voice, that would be here. My voice beta, which instead of going in the mode here, instead of using the excellent, I would go in my voice. In the drop down, I would choose the one that we just did, the Coral Reverie Enchanted Underworld Fantasy Narrative. And I can choose my level of creation. Okay, leave it at 7 for now because I never used it like that. Use this. And let's go back to scene 1. I could have changed the POV if I wanted to. Okay. See, is he saying the same thing again about the mermaid? Sonia?
Sorry, I have a little problem with my connection.
Okay, I was wondering if that was saying the same thing again for the mermaid, the quick fix.
Yes. Yes, it says the same thing again, actually.
Okay. It's probably something, my phone is talking to me too, so there's a connection somewhere. Okay.
And while we wait for generating, maybe you know this, whether there are any FAQs on how to write screen scripts in Sudo. That's Vito asking. I'm not aware, but maybe you know something.
The best place to ask that will be here. So I'm going to give you the screen so I don't switch the screen here. But if you go inside your Sudowrite inside the question, like the AI can answer that question on how to write the script. Or go create a nice new plugin and ask that you really like to have everything written in a TV screen script. Can you show that on your you do plugin, right?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I do plugins, but I don't do screen scripts, so I have no idea about what I could ask there. But I could at my screen.
Yeah, so you can ask question basically in the question mark for the AI, or you can go into the plugin and says, I like a plugin to write TV screen. So
Yeah,
create
this
a
would be
plugin.
like, you could go here. Yeah. Then this is like the new create plugin process, where you would just give it a description of what you want. This plugin. I just look at what you were asking for. Right, I'm not sure if I can get it to write a full feature film screen script.
Right, put it
on
there.
the get-go, but we can go something full feature screen script or a concept for let's say concept, because I'm not sure if it would just go and write. Well, maybe some of the models would be able to write 90 to 200 pages, but
What I'm interested in
but
what is going to give you for command. So generate.
yeah, just go to the film feature. I just add that it should be based on the story Bible.
Sure.
It often just looks at it as well. And if you want to write it, want to tune it in a way that it automatically writes in your language, you would have to add write all content. In your case, would be Russian. You could just leave it like that and see if it does it, but then I won't be able to tell you anything about the output. But you could tell us if it's actually given us Russian output.
I would have put down write in a language that the person is going to put inside the.
Yeah, that's also a good thing. I often just have it tailored to my personal needs. I'm a bit savvy in this.
Click on review.
Or we can just take a little. Yeah, you are an expert Russian screenwriter with decades of experience writing feature films across multiple genres. So this is the prompt that you that the AI has generated for your plugin.
It's going with
And use the
Wheel of
following
Grace because
elements
that's
from
what
the
the
story.
Bible.
Yeah, that is the example. That's like the standard example we get in this. And it's giving us something in Russian. I'm not sure if it's what you're asking for.
Yeah, Act 1.
But it looks good. Like
That looked like a script to me.
yeah, it's like scene 1, act 1.
External
I
something.
can't read anything here, but yeah, it's, as you can see, it's not 190 to 120 pages long, but it
You give
gives
it
you something.
nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
So what?
I mean, it didn't have that much to work with.
It looks like a
That's
script. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
So
at least looks
basically,
like a script.
what I do sometimes is when I'm totally stuck and I don't know what to tell the AI in the extra instruction, I do a plugin and I go inside review and I go get the go down. Yeah, this part, the user, I copy the user part and I bring that in my extra instruction.
Oh, yeah, that's a good tip. In this case, I would say that it would also, like in this AI options, you can change a few things. And for example, the maximum standard setting for output is 2000 words. And if you look at, you ask for 120 pages, that needs a lot more than 2000 words. So
yeah,
would have to add a few zeros here probably. And go for a model that writes more output. Let's see. Okay, where they all chalk at 20,000, so a whole script in one go would probably not possible, but yeah, let's say, let's take this one. Should you now complain, I think. But you can just save it, and now we have a plugin that would write a script for you.
Yeah, so that's one way to go about it.
And what you also could do, if you would just want to know best practices, you could either just ask chat, since this knows your story and it also has all the background knowledge about writing scripts that I think is ChatGPT 4.0, like current model would have. And if it's about more detailed knowledge for Sudowrite, there's also possibility just, I think they set it up now that this chat is actually the AI chat. Yes, but you can just go to chat and then ask questions about how would I write screen scripts in Sudowrite.
Yeah.
And it should give you some tips. And otherwise, I'd say head over to Discord and ask other people who write screen scripts how they're working. That would help. Sudowrite is primarily designed for novelists and long-form writers. I've seen, rewind and edit, prepare for formatting.
I think I prefer the plugin version.
Yep.
Definitely faster.
Yeah.
And
But there are various
my
ways
voice
to figure
is
stuff out.
working pretty good on the other side. So it's taking
that's
a
good
lot
to know.
longer. We only have 1,600 words written. It takes a lot longer to write the same story that we asked earlier, the Underwater Awakening. With my voice, it takes a lot longer.
It probably needs a bit more thinking than the other models.
Yeah, because now it's having a whole model to look at and a totally different voice. But it's working on, it's in Greek. So I think we did answer a lot of questions.
Yes, and we are on top of the hour, a little bit over. But if you still have some questions, go ahead and we can still answer them. But if not, I think we won't be stealing away more of your Friday. I mean, here it's evening. I'm not sure what time you have, but
It's 1 in the afternoon for me.
1 in the afternoon. Yeah. So it's almost, it's
8 in the
lunchtime for you.
evening, yeah.
Sounds good. We have no
Oh,
rules to
PM.
share the screen, the chat rename. They put new information inside the Zoom.
Oh,
Then meeting. All right. Anything else you'd like to show, Dahlia? We good?
yeah, I'm good. Nothing burning under the fingertips. Just maybe one quick thing is if you like to use the write button, it's always also helping if you put your information about what language you want here in the key details, just to reinforce it a little bit more. But in general, it just helps to have it in all story Bible boxes, which Manon also already said. And
Still writing.
if there are no further questions, there's just one thing left to do. And I'm just looking.
Perfect. So on this, I
And
say
that's
thank
saying
you
thank you.
for being with me and Dahlia. My name is Manon Dahlia. And this is Dahlia, and we both have
Yeah,
our
exactly.
books published and all that. It was fun to teach you in language that we can read, but at least you know you can do it, and how we both having a different workflow, which is great because there's always something new to learn. So on this, I would say
Definitely.
fantastic weekend. Have fun writing in your language. It's always fun to have you with us. Dahlia?
Also wish you all a great weekend and happy writing. And if you have some time, we would also be appreciated if you could leave a rating and a review so that we know what we can improve about this session. So, and I hope a lot to see you all again soon.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day. Thought I was drowning in the deep, but something in me refused to sleep. Every tear, every fear made me stronger, brought me here. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battleground. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. Mountains high and valleys low. Every turn, a path I didn't know. Lost my way, but found my stride. With every setback, I grew inside. Every scar, every pain built the warrior in my veins. In my veins, I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. Mountains darkest, and it feels like all is lost. Remember why you started, push through, no matter the cost. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. When the night is darkest, and it feels like all is lost, remember why you started, push through no matter the cost. Woke up this morning, the sky was clear. Every storm has brought me here. But I was drowning in the deep, but now I'm soaring, taking a leap. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. When the night is darkest, and it feels like all is I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end.